everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Hannah, and today I have a pregnancy update for week 31. Well, basically this week I just feel bigger. The baby feels a little bit bigger, my stomach feels bigger. I feel like I can feel my stomach growing, if that's a thing. I also think that my belly is going to pop soon, get really big and round, because my belly button is getting shallower and smaller than it's normal, if that makes sense. My belly button normally is really far in and tightly twisted, which is really weird, but that's just what my belly button is. But it's but now it's super shallow, and the hole is smaller. It's just weird. I don't know how else to explain it besides I think my belly button is going to pop out soon. So a thing that goes along with getting bigger and feeling bigger is at the end of the day or after I eat, my stomach just feels like it's expanding so far, and it kind of hurts. It feels like my muscles are ripping. They're not, but it definitely feels like it. Another thing that I've noticed is that if I am laying down or lounging around or sitting in one place or standing up for too long, any of those things for too long, I get pretty uncomfortable. Obviously my stomach starts hurting. That's kind of the thing that's been happening, is my stomach is hurting. But I definitely feel it if I've been doing one thing for too long, if that makes sense. In my pregnancy update for week 29, I mentioned that there's this weird clicking noise that happens in my pelvis. Yeah, that has been happening some more too. And it's not just in my pelvis, it's all over the uterus. So all over my stomach I'm hearing that sound, and it's when the baby makes a certain movement. It's like a bubble is popping or something. I don't know if that's true or not. I still think that it could be my pelvis expanding and my rib cage expanding. I mentioned this to my mom, and she was like, yeah, it's probably just your bones expanding and getting ready for birth. And I was like, okay. So I'm not too worried about it, just because it doesn't hurt, and nothing bad has happened yet. So anyway, it's just something strange that I didn't expect, I guess. Okay, so now on to the baby's movements. The movements are obviously a lot bigger. They're kind of more of a pushing feeling instead of a punching, and I think I've mentioned this before too, that I feel the movements have changed. Probably mentioned that last week, but it's true. The movements definitely do feel a lot different, and I feel it's just pushing and stretching more than it is kicking. And what's kind of cool is that I can really feel the big movements, the big stretches and the big hard kicks and punches. I can feel that. But the little movements, I guess since the baby's so big, I can't really feel them too much, because they're it's already pushing up against my uterus. So then if it does a little something, it's not really I don't really feel it. But whenever I am watching my belly, I can see the little movements a whole lot easier. And like I said, I think it's because the baby's already up against the side of my uterus. So it's just I can see it easier, can't feel it as easy, but I can see it. And then obviously the big movements, but there's a lot more rolling looking movements when I watch my belly too. So that's really cool. So anyway, I will now insert the clips of the baby moving. The Pregnancy Plus app, and this is what the little guy looks like. We don't know, boy or girl, just I'm making a reference. But yeah, it looks more human now. This week it talks about the brain development, and it says your baby can now use all of the 5 senses and is busy looking around. Lung development, your baby is practicing breathing, grabbing whatever is in reach, tasting amniotic fluid, and listening to sounds. Yeah, I know it's developing its lungs because it keeps hiccuping too. That's another thing, is it hiccups a lot. And then weight gain, your baby will weigh about 3.5 pounds at this point. So basically what it said already. Okay, so for the size, this is the last week that it is the size of a chocolate box, a puppy, or the winter squash. So that is all that I have for this update. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys enjoyed this video, go ahead and give me a big thumbs up and hit the subscribe button, and then hit the notification bell so you're notified every time I put out a new video, and I will see you next week. Bye!
Say something like you love me and make my day, like you always do, like you always do.